So 2 weeks ago, I was in Hawaii for Nurture Change 2018, and it was absolutely epic. Now back in the office, as you can see, and full of ideas and inspiration of what we can do to improve. So Nurture Change is a bunch of 200 business leaders and sports people who really are doing some game-changing things in New Zealand and around the world. So the best bit is we get to not only listen to these speakers, but also spend a lot of time with them. So I managed to grab 4 of my favourite speakers for a couple of their key takeaways to share with us today. So I sat down with the legend heavyweight boxer Joseph Parker, the good-looking and super impressive Dr. Lance O'Sullivan, Dr. Michelle Dickinson Nanogirl, and also the absolute legend Murray Tom. Check it out.
For me, the hunger comes from within. Hunger comes from supplying for my family, working for my family, giving them a good future. Being the champion or being the best in what you do takes hard work, sacrifice. It takes a lot of training, early mornings, staying away from your family. So all these things add up and give you that hunger to push through, gives you extra motivation when times do get hard, and it makes you train harder. And for me, there's a few times where being down, I've gone through some difficult times, but that's the time where you have to be the strongest. You have to dig deep, come back, and it's those times that actually show what kind of character, what kind of person you are.
So obviously mentoring, and like we in a Māori sense, it's tua kanataina. It's an older person looking after a younger person, big brother, little brother thing. It's really critical for that transference of knowledge and that sort of safety net. I think it needs to be quite an intentional process. That's why we've been doing quite a bit of work around, developing a mentoring program so that we can identify young, emerging, leaders really, and then sort of linking them up with someone who has the talents and skills, and more importantly, the willingness and engagement to support them. So we create leaders by design, not by chance. Yeah, so it's interesting, like what was talked about today was, David Downs talked about, humility and not sort of trying to over-promote yourself, and yet that could be, that's an attribute both, Kiwis and, particularly Māori sort of think is a virtue, and we need to break that down because it's important that you celebrate and promote who you are and the things you're good at. The question is, how do you do that which is not going to be at the expense of others? So it's a mana enhancing process for others versus, a mana diminishing process. And I guess, we can do that, reflect that in some of our services and the products that we might develop. So for us, we're trying to develop a digital health service that elevates the mana of people who previously were sort of diminished, I guess, by accessing health services. So we're quite comfortable with that. I guess also, like, one of the things I do often is I tend to ask more about a person than I tell about myself.
I think the key message for me, the message that I really was wanting to leave with people today was that, of course, we've worked with so many artists and chefs and cooks with all the productions, but we're doing the Offering Project, which is really a massive philanthropic undertaking that we're doing on behalf of the Salvation Army. And I really believe it was the project that I was born for. I was so excited about it, just getting all the artists that have been around, the songs that have been around for centuries, and having modern day artists, and I want to just make it famous in New Zealand, and I want to take it around the world. And it really unites 2 of my great passions. One is helping others, and the other is producing world-class music, and I'm just so excited. And I was really privileged to be able to share that at Nurture Change this year. So Mum and I, Mum's 88, we go for a walk every morning. We're in neighbouring houses, and when both of our kitchen lights come on at about 6:45, it means we're ready to go for a walk. And as we're walking back and the commuters are going to work, Mum often sings this little song which goes, "Lucky, lucky, lucky me, I'm the lucky son of a gun. I work 8 hours, I sleep 8 hours, and I keep 8 hours for fun." And it's just like a song, a 30-second lyric, which basically goes, get some good sleep, be happy, and enjoy your work. And I just think it's summed up, and I bless Mum for that.
Also, in the engineering industry, there is a real lack of women in engineering. Can you share your experience with how you're getting more girls to consider science as being an occupation that will be relevant for engineers.
Yeah, so sure. So in New Zealand, we're about 13% female in our engineering community, which we know is really low. We know that 24% study engineering at university, so we're losing 50% just after university. That means if you're in recruitment, you need to be getting people in young, you need to be inspiring them, getting them on great graduate programs so that they actually want to stay in the industry, otherwise we lose them to banking. We don't want to do that, they've got great skills. If you are a dad and you have a daughter and you're an engineer, tell your daughter what you do for a job. Open the planet to them, because if they don't realize what their dad does, or their mum, if you're a mum engineer, you don't open that world to them, they won't know that that's cool and that they can be that and they can build that confidence. So 2 easy tips. If you're a parent, get your kids into engineering, get them playing, get them building, get them curious about science. And if you're an employer, get great graduate programs so you can pull these amazing undergraduates and give them great workplaces.